Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful day like always. Today I will be listening to Miley Cyrus's newest album, her 7th studio album that she dropped this past weekend called Plastic Hearts. And let me tell you, I am so giddy, I'm so excited to be checking out this album for the first time. This album is completely new to me. I haven't heard it before except for one song. Of course, I have heard track number 7, Midnight Sky. All the other tracks are brand new to me. There are 12 tracks. She did release Prisoner with Dua Lipa a week ago, 2 weeks ago, but I didn't listen to it because I knew that I would be doing this video. So I wanted to save my first listen of that song for this video. And there are also a few bonus tracks. I'm actually listening to the Apple Music Backyard Sessions edition on Apple Music. So there are a few bonus tracks at the end of the album. There is the Edge of Midnight, Midnight Sky remix featuring Stevie Nicks, and Heart of Glass, Zombie, the Cranberries cover. So I don't know if I'm going to listen to those tracks on camera at the end of this video. If I have enough energy and I'm willing to do so by the end of the album, I will. I am extremely excited to be checking out this album, more so for the featured artists. We have Billy Idol, which, let me tell you, I listened to Billy Idol's very first solo album for the first time a few months ago, earlier this year, and I absolutely loved it. So I am a big Billy Idol fan, even though I've only listened to one of his albums. I do plan on continuing with my Billy Idol discography journey very soon. Also, Joan Jett, Dua Lipa, of course, Stevie Nicks. This is a rock-inspired album as well, so I'm all ears. I'm just so excited. But anyway, let's get into the first track. Track number 1, WTF Do I Know? Alrighty, and that was track number 1, WTF, What the Fuck Do I Know? And I really enjoyed myself listening to this track. It was a nice teaser, it was a nice taste test for what to expect from the rest of the album, I imagine. And I love classic rock music, I like rock and roll. It's just interesting to see how much progress she's made through her discography and how versatile she really is. I mean, she can sing pop, she can sing R&B, she can sing country, she can now sing rock. I mean, she can do everything. I wouldn't be surprised if in a few years she put out a jazz album. She does say in the song, What the Fuck Do I Know? I'm Alone. Guess I couldn't be somebody's hero. You want an apology, not from me. Had to leave you in your own misery. So tell me, baby, am I wrong that I moved on and I don't even miss you? I am curious to know if she is singing about someone in particular. I did have a little bit of an inkling that this song could have been about Liam Hemsworth, but I wasn't sure. I didn't want to make assumptions, but it does say here that it could be about him. Now, I wasn't aware that Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth were in such a long-term relationship. It says here that they met in 2009 on the set of the movie The Last Song, and they divorced in 2020. So they were together for 10 years, which I didn't know it was that long, but wow. Now, it says they met in 2009, but they got married in 2018, and then divorced in 2020. So they were only married for 2 years. But anyway, let's move on to track number 2, Plastic Hearts. Already now it's track number 2, Plastic Hearts, and damn. I really enjoyed this track. I enjoyed this track a lot more than track number 1. What the fuck do I know? And what I also like about these songs is that they're co-written not only by Miley Cyrus, but also by One Republic as well. I love One Republic so much. I've been a huge fan of them since the very beginning, their very first album, Dreaming Out Loud. She does say in the song, "Hello, the sunny place for shady people, a crowded room where nobody goes. You can be whoever you want to be here." And then she also goes on to say, "Hello, I'll tell you all the people I know. Sell you something that you already owed. I can be whoever you want me to be." I feel like she could be singing about several different things in this song. I just want to feel something, but I keep feeling nothing all night long. So I don't know if she's singing about intimacy or drugs, perhaps the party scene, or maybe she's singing about California in general. She could be singing about the entertainment industry and connections in Hollywood. She could also be singing about plastic hearts are bleeding, how fake and shady and plastic everyone is around her or in her industry or in Los Angeles in general. I really don't know. And what's really unfortunate is because this album is so new, it's only a few days old, I'm trying to go online and find out the actual meanings behind some of these songs. But because it's so new, nobody has really gone online yet and interpreted all the songs yet and analyze them, so I can't really find out the true meanings behind the song. So I kind of have to go off of what I think the songs are about. I also want to point out the guitar solo in this song. I mean, the electric guitar is one of my favorite instruments of all time, and whenever I hear a guitar solo, I just have an orgasm. So now let's move on to track number 3, Angels Like You. Already now it's track number 3, Angels Like You, and hands down, out of the 3 tracks I've listened to already, track number 3, Angels Like You, is my favorite. This album is getting better with each track I listen to, and I'm enjoying it so far. I love the rock aesthetic to the album, and the guitars, and just everything about this album so far I'm really liking. I'm also liking the stories that she's sharing with us in the lyrics. I am curious to know if this song is also about Liam Hemsworth. Gonna wish we never met on the day I leave. I brought you down to your knees, cause they say that misery loves company. It's not your fault I ruin everything. It's not your fault I can't be what you need, baby. Angels like you can't fly down here with me. And then she also says, everyone says I look happy. I know that you're wrong for me, so I am making the assumption that this song is about Liam Hemsworth. I could be wrong, I don't know, but I'm getting that impression when I listen to this song. She is saying how she does tend to ruin things, and she's not the type of girl that you're looking for, that you expected. She is a little bit of a bad girl, she's a bit rebellious, and angels like you can't fly down here with me, so you're an angel, but because you're such an angel, you can't fly down here with me. So I know I said that I thought the song was about Liam Hemsworth, but people are actually saying that the song is about her other ex, Caitlyn Carter, who I don't know about. It says here that Caitlyn Carter is a woman that Miley dated just after her breakup from Liam Hemsworth. It says that Miley and Caitlyn were friends and then they turned girlfriends, but then split after 6 weeks of dating. I mean, I don't know how angry Miley Cyrus was at Liam Hemsworth and how bitter she was over the divorce. I don't know who initiated the divorce. I don't know why they got a divorce. So I don't know if her calling Liam an angel in this song would have made sense, because she does say in the song, angels like you can't fly down here with me. So would it make sense for Miley to call Liam an angel? I don't know. So for anybody watching this video who does follow Miley Cyrus's life, and any of you watching who is a huge Miley Cyrus fan and knows everything about her, please let me know in the comments what some of these songs are about and who she's actually singing about. One of my favorite parts of the song was the build-up of the production towards the end. That was hands down one of my favorite parts, and I really enjoyed this song. I'm secretly hoping that this song is released as a single because it's that good. Anyway, let's move on to track number 4, Prisoner, featuring Dua Lipa. Alrighty, now it's track number 4, Prisoner, featuring Dua Lipa, and I'm starting to have a new appreciation for Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa was never an artist I ever really listened to. I still haven't listened to her debut album, which I plan on doing a video for very soon on this channel. But when I listened to her newest album released earlier this year, Future Nostalgia, I fell in love with this woman and her music. Future Nostalgia is such a great pop album. It's definitely one of my favorite new releases of 2020. I did like the song Prisoner. It's not one of my favorites on the album so far. I didn't like the song as much as I thought I would. It's okay, it's just not as great of a song as I thought it was gonna be. And in the song, they're saying, locked up, can't get you off my mind. Lord knows I tried a million times. Why can't you just let me go? Prisoner, locked up, can't get you off my mind. So it looks like she's singing about being a prisoner to this person, how she can't get them off her mind, so in that way she's a prisoner. She also can't run away. I gotta know why can't you? Why can't you just let me go? So it seems like relationships are a huge theme on this album. She got divorced from Liam Hemsworth, and there's also this Caitlyn woman who I didn't know about prior to listening to this album, and I imagine she might have been in other relationships as well. This definitely sounds more like a Dua Lipa track than it does a Miley Cyrus track, but I still really enjoyed listening to it. And Miley herself spoke about the lyrics, saying that they're also about being in quarantine. So now let's move on to track number 5, Gimme What I Want. Alrighty, that was track number 5, Gimme What I Want, and I love this song so much. It's definitely one of my favorites on the album so far. My only gripe with it is that it's so short. It's only just over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It was way too short, and it was very hard for me to vibe to this song because it was so short. I just wish it hit the 3-minute mark. I feel like I would have liked this song a lot more if it was longer. It was just too short in my opinion, and the songs on this album are quite short. Just like track number 4, Prisoner with Dua Lipa, that song was under 3 minutes as well. If this song was released as a single, I feel like the music video would be really interesting. As I was listening to the song, I was kind of visualizing a music video in my head. It really does lend itself to having a music video. She says, tonight you came here because you know what I need, and no one likes to be alone. I don't need a future, I don't need your past, I just need a lover. So give me what I want, or I'll give it to my self-inflicted torture. So she's saying no one likes to be alone, and she doesn't need to know your backstory. She doesn't need to know your future or your past. She just needs a lover tonight. Give me what I want. She just wants to get laid. I'm just thinking that if there was to be a music video for this song, it would be very S&M, very 50 Shades of Grey, BDSM. And I also found the song a bit disturbing when she mentions self-inflicted torture. So give me what I want or I'll give it to myself. The self-inflicted torture. So she could be singing about self-inflicted torture when it comes to sexual pleasure like BDSM, or something more serious like self-harm. I don't know. That's just something I'm interpreting when I read the lyrics. I will also say that I'm really enjoying the production on this album so far. In particular, this track number 5, Give Me What I Want. So now let's move on to track number 6, Night Crawling, featuring Billy Idol. Yes. Yes, track number 6, Night Crawling with Billy Idol. This album just keeps getting better and better and better. This is another one of my favorite tracks on the album, and I don't know, I just orgasmed listening to that song. It's just so nice to hear a Billy Idol's voice. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I did listen to a Billy Idol's very first solo album earlier in the year on this channel, and I do want to listen to the rest of his discography. Now, after listening to him on this track, it's definitely something that I want to set into motion now. I definitely want to go on my Billy Idol discography journey very soon. This track was just taking me back to the 70s and the 80s, Under the Disco Ball, Night Crawling, Sky Falling, Gotta Listen When the Devil's Calling. And it's interesting because Miley does play around with angels and devils on this album. She sings about angels and devils and uses them as metaphors and what have you. And this is a dark album, which I love. The production is quite dark and foreboding and eerie, and I like it. When I listen to this album, I just feel like I'm underground somewhere. I'm at this secret location, at this secret party, and it's just a very interesting atmosphere that I'm picking up from this album. I will also say that there's a movie called Nightcrawler starring Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's a fantastic movie. It's very dark, it's very foreboding, and that movie is reminding me of this album, and this album is reminding me of that movie. So now let's move on to track number 7, Midnight Sky.
It's been a long night and the mirror's telling me to go home.
Alrighty, now it's track number 7, Midnight Sky, which was the lead single from the album, and I've always loved this song since the very first time I listened to it, and I think it's a great song. It was a great lead single. I could see why it was the lead single, and I just really like it. But now that I listen to the song within the context of the rest of the album, it makes a lot more sense, and it really does fit in with the theme of the album. She is saying that she's just doing her own thing. I mean, Miley Cyrus has always done her own thing, and She's no angel. I feel like that's also something she's winking at in the album. She isn't the perfect good girl. She's not your angel. She does what she wants, and she's very self-reliant as well. She says, I don't need to be loved by you. I don't hide blurry eyes like you. I was born to run. I don't belong to anyone. I don't need to be loved by you. She says, but it's been a long time since I felt this good on my own. A lot of years went by with my hands tied up in your ropes. Forever and ever, no more. So, I am wondering if, once again, the song is about Liam Hemsworth. She also brings up the allegory of the devil once again, which is something she's done multiple times on this album already. Devils and angels, fire in my lungs, can't bite the devil on my tongue. Miley herself explained the song's background by saying, you just definitely want to feel like you are just in control of your own life and not trying to control anyone else's. So for me, to be able to really have a good, clear understanding of the last 2 years, which there was some traumatic experiences, losing the house in Malibu, oh yeah, that happened as well, and going through a really public breakup, I think I just really needed some clarity. And so it was just really important to me to be able to like really sit with my thoughts. This is one of my favorite tracks on the album, and I'm really happy that it was the lead single. So now let's move on to track number 8, High.
Got my mind going places that ain't wanna go. In my head, I did my very best, saying goodbye. Goodbye. I still feel alive.
Alrighty, that was track number 8, High. I'm in love with this album. It just keeps getting better and better and better. Definitely, once again, one of my favorite tracks on the album. I feel like I've said that about a lot of the tracks already on the album. That's my favorite track on the album. That's my favorite track on the album. One of my favorite tracks. One of my favorite tracks. This one, definitely 100% one of my favorite tracks on the album. Track number 8, High. I don't miss you, but I think of you, and don't know why. I still feel high. Sometimes I stay up all night, 'cause you don't ever talk to me in my dreams. And I think about eventually you're holding me and dancing to the record like a movie scene. This does continue the theme of the album, how she is thinking about this person, but she doesn't miss this person. She is running away from this person. She feels like a prisoner to this person because she keeps thinking about them, but she doesn't miss them, but she keeps thinking about them. I wasn't expecting this sort of album from Miley Cyrus. If you told me, I don't know, 5 years ago that Miley Cyrus would put out an album like this, I would have laughed in your face, but it's a great album. What I also like about the album so far is that there aren't any gimmicks, like during her Bangers era. She isn't acting out and she's not being ridiculous. She's not acting ridiculous. She's being very genuine and honest on this album, and she's also very mature. I mean, she is growing up, and she's becoming a very serious artist. She doesn't have to rely on ridiculous gimmicks and clothing and acting out and controversy. She just lets the music speak for itself, and so far, it's great. So now let's move on to track number 9, Hate Me.
Go ahead, you can say it's my fault. Drowning in my thoughts, staring at the clock, and I know I'm not on your mind. Go ahead, you can say that I've changed. I wonder what happened if I don't.
Alrighty, now it's track number 9, Hate Me, and this was a very powerful song to read and to listen to. It's pretty straightforward. She's essentially saying, I wonder what would happen if I died. I hope all my friends get drunk and high. Would it be too hard to say goodbye? I hope that it's enough to make you cry. Maybe that day you won't hate me. I imagine there are a lot of people who can relate to this song. A lot of people think about what it would be like if they did die and what would happen. How would people in their life react to that? How would family? How would friends? And something else that crosses your mind is, for the people that do hate you, would they hate you still when you die? This album also continues with the theme of this relationship, saying, you can say it's my fault if it still hurts at all. I thought one of these days you might call when you were feeling small, drowning in my thoughts, staring at the clock, and I know I'm not on your mind. I wonder what would happen if I die. So this person isn't thinking of her, and she's staring at the clock knowing that this person isn't thinking about her. But if she was to die, would they start thinking about her again, and would they still hate her for what she did? And they did say that it was her fault, whatever she did. So would they still think that it was her fault, and would they still hate her if she died? Definitely a very powerful song. So let's move on to track number 10, Bad Karma, featuring Joan Jett. Alrighty, now it's track number 10, Bad Karma, featuring Joan Jett. I mean, what an iconic collaboration. Collaborating with Joan Jett, I mean, enough said. And I did like this song. It's not one of my favorites on the album, but I still liked listening to it. This song is pure Miley Cyrus. When she says, I don't give a fuck, I don't believe in luck, it's why I do what I want to do. I'd rather just do it than I'll think about it later. Kiss me, Bad Karma. This is, I feel like, something that Miley Cyrus has lived by her entire life. I'd rather just do it than I'll think about it later. She just comes across as someone who's very spontaneous and does things in the moment. Miley Cyrus is who she is, and there are zero fucks given with zero apologies. So now let's move on to track number 11, Never Be Me.
No, I do this every time I walk the line. I don't wanna push you way too much. I don't wanna lean that way too far. But if you're looking for stable, that'll never be me. That'll never be me. Hard as I try, that'll never be me. Dry your tears now, don't you cry. I'm by your side. If you're looking for someone to be all that you need, that'll never be me. Hard as I try, that'll never be me. Hard as I try, that'll never be me.
Alrighty, now it's track number 11, Never Be Me, and let me just say that this is a very cohesive album, lyrically, and the stories she's sharing, and the themes. I don't want to ever learn the hard way, but if you're looking for stable, that'll never be me. If you're looking for faithful, that'll never be me. If you're looking for someone to be all that you need, that'll never be me. She's saying that she will never be stable and she's never going to be faithful. That's never going to be her. Hard as I try. So it seems like she tried, she really did, but she couldn't because it just wasn't her. Miley Cyrus definitely isn't your typical girl that you bring home to mom and dad. She's not one of those girls. I walk the line, I play with fire, and that is something she's done many times throughout her career, and we know that all too well. So we have come to the end of the album, track number 12, Golden G-String.
I woke up in Montecito. I was thinking about my life. Yes, I've worn the golden G-string. Put my hand into hellfire. The old boys hold all the cards and they ain't playing gin. But I think I'll stay. There are layers to this body. Primal sex and primal shame.
Alrighty, now was the final track of the album, track number 12, A Golden G-String, and I really enjoyed this track. It was a great way to wrap up the album. She says, the old boys hold all the cards, and they ain't playing gin. You dare to call me crazy. Have you looked around this place? I should walk away. I should walk away. But I think I'll stay. She also says, there are layers to this body, primal sex and primal shame. They told me I should cover it. So I went the other way. I was trying to own my power. Still, I'm trying to work it out. I mean, I have my ideas as to what she could possibly be singing about. I feel like this song could mean many things. We all focus on the winners and get blinded by their shine. Maybe caring for each other's just to 1969. I really like that lyric. She could be singing about the entertainment industry and record executives and what she had to go through. And perhaps her star wasn't shining as bright as it used to, and all these other pop stars were shining brighter than her and doing better than her and selling better than her. I don't know, she could be alluding to that. So she could be referring to her earlier days during her, I don't know, Can't Be Tamed or maybe even Bangers era when she was showing too much skin. I actually did a bit of research and it says here that Golden G-String was written in 2017 or 2018 and is reflective of Donald Trump as president, and the men hold all the cards and they ain't playing gin and they determine your fate. Okay, well, when she was saying the men hold all the cards, I thought she was referring to, I don't know, record executives and the bigwigs in the music industry. Essentially, the people who were controlling her career at the time and telling her what she shouldn't do and what she couldn't do and what she could do. She also says that the song is about the cross that she had to bear, saying, I feel like everything I've done has just been up for all the opinions, and I guess people being offended, and all this shit. She then goes on to say, but it's like our president grabs women by the blank, and you're mad at me. I'm a pop star. I'm supposed to do these things. I'm supposed to do things that sometimes makes you uncomfortable or you take offense to. That's kind of my job. That's entertainment. I don't want that in a leader. You don't want an entertainer for president. I have no desire to be president because I have only a desire to create art and to be an artist. That's a very powerful statement from Miley Cyrus. It just goes to show you how much bullshit she had to go through and all the criticism she received from everyone from the way she acted in public and on stage. But what she's saying is that she's an entertainer, it's her job, it's what she's supposed to do, and it's who she is. But he's the leader of a nation, he's not an entertainer. Yet Miley Cyrus gets criticized for being outlandish and scandalous on stage, but it's her job because she's an entertainer. I feel like part of the backlash was also because of where she came from. A very innocent Hannah Montana idol who a lot of young girls looked up to, and now she was headed down a more scandalous road that was the complete opposite of Hannah Montana. I will say, the jump from Hannah Montana to her bangers persona was quite quick, and it was quite sudden, and I can see why a lot of people didn't like that. You could tell that Miley was definitely trying to shed her Hannah Montana persona, and she didn't really want to be that girl anymore. So what are your thoughts and opinions surrounding everything I just said? Let me know in the comments. So that is all 12 tracks of Plastic Hearts by Miley Cyrus, and I wasn't expecting to love this album as much as I did, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I haven't listened to all of Miley Cyrus's albums. I definitely need to go on my Miley Cyrus discography journey. There are a few albums from her I haven't listened to in full. I have listened to Bangers and Younger Now. I feel like out of the three, actually, I also listened to She's Coming also. And from my understanding, She's Coming was supposed to be part of a trilogy of albums. She never ended up releasing the next two albums in that trilogy. I definitely will be going on my Miley Cyrus discography journey though. I don't know when, but it's definitely on my list. I loved how cohesive this album was lyrically and the themes in the story. Also the production as well. The production was one of the highlights. Obviously very rock-oriented, and I loved all the featured artists like Billy Idol and Joan Jett, also Dua Lipa, and One Republic also co-wrote some of the songs. And overall, I think this is a very mature album from Miley Cyrus. There is a lot of growth. This is a dark album, in my opinion. She does deal with heartbreak and divorce and breakups, and she deals with sensitive subject matter as well, and she deals with angels and devils and that persona, and being rebellious, doing what she wants, being her own girl, and taking chances, being spontaneous in the moment, and also confessing that she will never be in a faithful relationship. She's not that girl. She's not about that life. Miley Cyrus definitely has a lot of flaws, and she acknowledges them on this album. She's very vulnerable on this album, I will say. And she kind of lays it out all on the table for us. As a whole, I really enjoyed listening to the album, and I can definitely see myself going back to this album multiple times. There are a lot of great songs on here. So what did you guys think of this album? Maybe you didn't like it as much as me. Maybe you don't think it's a very good album. Tell me why in the comments. Maybe you love it more than me. Maybe you're a huge Miley Cyrus fan and you're very impressed with this album.
Yeah, it's been a long night and the mirror's telling me to go home.
Yeah!